All right. Perfect. So welcome guys to Sunday night yoga. Find yourself on your nice comfortable seat. I'm using my bolster here, but you can always use a rolled up blanket, a yoga block, a pillow, something to keep your hips a little bit more elevated off of the mat. Tends to kind of get yourself a bit more of a comfortable position sitting here. So find that nice tall seat wherever you are. Make sure your legs are comfortable on the floor. Make sure your spine is nice and long. Your hands can rest wherever they feel most comfortable, so on the thighs or on the prop there. Just taking the time here to tune into our breath tonight. So you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. I'm just taking a few moments to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just starting to slow down into our evening. I know it's a still transition with how much sunlight there is at this time. I'm still not used to it myself. So it might feel early to wind down, but still nice to get into that mentality, that nice breath awareness to ease yourself in towards relaxation for the rest of the night. We're going to be working through alternate nostril breathing tonight. So again, we're going to work through using your hands to close one nostril and then open the other. Again, if that feels uncomfortable for you, you can always just visualize the breath moving up and down each side of the body and just keep the hands on the thighs, so whatever feels most comfortable for you. If you're moving along, index and middle finger goes between the two eyebrows here. And then we're going to use our thumb and the ring finger to alternate closing right and left nostrils. So we're not going to close anything just yet, just rest the fingers along the kind of third eye, the space between the two eyebrows there. Start to breathe here just to kind of tune into the breath as we're sitting. The meditation and the breathing practice will start once we have a full exhale, and it will start with an inhale in the left nostril. So we're going to start by closing the right nostril first. I'll guide you guys when we do that. So keep breathing normally for me. So we'll come in this together as we inhale in, exhale out, inhale in, exhale out. Close right nostril, inhale in left. Close left nostril, open out, exhale right. Inhale in right. Close with the thumb, open the ring finger, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. So continuing on this alternate nostril breathing on your own pace. And that nice rhythm here you'll find is that nice long inhale up one side of the body and exhale down the other. Inhale up that side and exhale down the other. So with the eyes closed here, you can always visualize that breath moving up and down, switching sides. This helps to calm the breathing rate and bring in some relaxation. Keep going a few more breath cycles. You really want to take the time with this practice to get the most effects from that alternate nostril breathing, the most effects with controlling that breathing rate. So we'll do 3 more breath cycles wherever you are. So that means in one side, out the other, back through. And we'll stop once you exhale out to the left side after your 3rd cycle. And you can pause there. And just come back into that regular breath. And you'll feel maybe some clarity through the nose as we inhale in, exhale out the mouth. Inhale in, exhale out the mouth. One more breath in, exhale out. And just coming back into that nose breathing. So just bringing inhale in, exhale out the nose. Trying to keep that same rhythm, that same stillness that you found in that alternate nostril breathing. And we're going to bring a bit of gratitude into our meditation tonight. So gratitude's a very important kind of thought we can manifest, some thought that we can encourage in our minds to feel more grateful for the everyday, more at peace with ourselves, more happiness around us. So we'll use that kind of gratitude as our affirmation tonight. As you inhale in the nose, think, I am. As you exhale through the nose, think, grateful. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grateful. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grateful. Thinking to yourself, inhale, I am. Exhale, grateful. As we're sitting here, letting yourself just bring any thoughts into the head that you feel some gratitude towards. Maybe that's the sunshine today. Maybe that's any exercise, people in your life, good food you ate, the workout that you did. Just letting some nice grateful thoughts form in the mind as we're inhaling, I am. Exhaling, grateful. And just letting them come and go. And if any of those thoughts stay with you, you can dive deeper into those experiences, those memories, the feelings that surround that gratitude. I'm just taking a couple moments here. And we'll keep tying back into this theme for the rest of practice tonight. Finding some gratitude in the everyday. And we'll take one more inhale in together, nice long inhale. Exhale, sigh. Let it go. Awesome. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Give yourself a nice big stretch up overhead here. And as you exhale, hands come back alongside the body. Hands come behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back. Open up through the front of the chest. Tuck that chin in so we feel nice and long through the spine. But feel a gentle stretch across the front of the chest. And seeing if you can take a couple of deep breaths in this position. Again, the eyes can stay closed for all of practice tonight if that feels good for you. So let that kind of guide yourself with how you feel tonight. One more deep breath in. On the next inhale, release the arms. Arms come up overhead again. This time, interlace the fingers overhead and then bring the arms down in front of you. So palms kind of push away, arms come down at chest height. So now we're pushing the hands away, pushing the shoulder blades away. You can let yourself roll a little bit in the spine, maybe tuck the head under for the opposite effect. Now we're just kind of stretching the back body here in our seated position, taking a couple of deep breaths here. And working in your own depth of how much you want to go in this stretch. And taking one more breath in. Exhale, sitting up nice and tall, release the hands, arms come back up overhead, big breath in, and this time we exhale, hands come down into heart center. Beautiful. Okay, coming over onto our hands and knees, so find some positions. If your props are around you, just move them out of the way. We're gonna come into a thread and needle, and so we'll have two options for thread and needle tonight. Option one is you can go nice and low into your thread and needle, so if you want to come into our child's pose and come under our rotation, that way you can. If you prefer, you can try having the hips high and then have the arms a little bit lower so that as we come underneath, we'll come into that position there. So you can kind of play with both of them and see which ones feel best for you. So wherever you would decide to be, we're going to inhale the right arm up first, nice and long, and then exhale, you're going to curl that right arm underneath the left, giving yourself a little bit of support so that right cheek can rest down. Again, if you have any props or pillows, you can always use a bit of support in that position to get in a little bit of height in the twist here. If you don't love twisting like that, you can always just stay in child's pose as well. So we're just coming into a couple breaths on this side. Nice deep breaths, feeling the connection of the right side as the right arm is underneath the left. Taking one more breath here. Slowly unravel. Inhale that right arm nice and long overhead and bring your right hand back down into your tabletop position. Moving to the left side, inhale left arm up and then exhale left arm comes underneath the right. You can keep your hips nice and high, or if you prefer, you can have the hips lower into your child's pose. So whatever depth that you feel the body feels most supported in tonight. Just again, pausing here, using any props you need for the left side, left cheek. Just taking a few breaths. Nice and slow, nice and deep. Feeling a bit of support of the earth against your skin. That feeling of grounded support. Taking one more breath in. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come back up into our tabletop position. We're going to work our way down towards our tummy here. And so we can kind of walk our hands forward, bring yourself down to your forearms, coming down towards the mat. You can always put a pillow underneath the belly if you want a bit of support for the low back. You're going to use that left hand and rest the forehead on the left palm here. Inhale, right arms are going to reach back and reach for the right foot, the right heel, the right toes. So we're bending the right knee here. A little bit of opening in the front of that right shoulder. So if you feel you're kind of locked down or kind of facing the shoulder blade down or edge of the shoulder down towards the ground, open up a little bit to give yourself some space to reach that right foot. So forehead's relaxed onto the floor. We're just guiding a little bit of stretch into the right thigh here, right quadricep. We're using the sensation of our body onto the floor to help ground ourselves and ground the breath here. So taking your time as you're breathing against the floor to really feel the breath expand into the belly. So you'll feel that belly rise against the floor and soften against the floor. So visualize that breath going as deep as you can, using that diaphragmatic breathing to really expand throughout the rib cage. And taking the time here and guiding the stretch as you need in front of the right thigh. So you can always pull the heel towards your buttocks on the right side to deepen the stretch or soften as well. I'm going to take this nice and slow, so really just enjoy the breathing with the support of the ground. We'll take 3 more breaths in this position. As we're breathing through these different poses and taking our time with each of them, bring in that awareness of our gratitude wherever you can. So let your mind, let your breath feel with your grateful memories, your grateful things in your life. As we exhale, we're going to release the hand, let the foot come down to the floor, and bring both hands on top of each other to support the forehead down. You're going to slide the right leg out to the side. So it's almost if you're in like a sleeping position, if you're a stomach sleeper, and that right leg's out to the side here. Just opening that right hip slightly. And again, you can choose the depth or the kind of the degree of that hip. So the higher it goes, the bigger stretch you'll feel. The closer it is to your left leg, the straighter it is, the less intense it'll feel. So just find a comfortable position. That right leg can just kind of bend at a 90-degree angle at the knee. Bring your forehead down to the floor. Just breathe into this position. So again, we're keeping that mindfulness and that breath connection to the belly. Keeping that mindfulness of that slow connection to our inhales and our exhales. Taking your time, slowing it down. Again, letting that body feel that awareness of how we're breathing, that powerful awareness can take us so many places. We use that breath, we can find that relaxation whenever we want in our day, find that mindfulness whenever we want. So just come back to mindful breathing or connected breath awareness as often as you can, and you'll start to feel the real benefits of that. And take one more breath on this side. And as you exhale, bring that right leg straight alongside. And then we're going to inhale, left arm reaches back, left ankle bends, and kind of grab for the foot, the ankle, the shin, wherever you can. You can always use a stretching strap or support if you need to. And then make sure you rest that head on the right palm, right backside of the palm here. Come back to the other side. So as we're stretching on this other side, make sure that you feel supported in the shoulder. So if you feel like your shoulder's in a funky position, can you just open up a little bit further, bring that left shoulder back slightly to open the chest. Make sure you aim that attention to if you want to feel a deeper stretch across the left thigh. Maybe pull the heel a little closer towards the buttocks. You can always connect the pelvis against the ground, squeeze the glutes a little bit, and see what that does to the front of the thigh. And taking the time here with the breath. Take 3 more breaths on this left side. On your third breath, on the exhale, just release the hand, release the foot, straighten that left foot. Both hands now act as your pillow for your forehead, and just slide that left leg up alongside the body again. So we're opening the left hip on the other side as if we're sleeping on our stomach. Letting yourself feel grounded here with the forehead making contact, the chest making contact, the stomach, the hips, the thighs, all feeling the support from the earth tonight. Helps to anchor our energy, anchor that breath. And visualize that breath coming in again, nice and low, nice and deep towards that abdomen. Visualize that breath also expanding at that back sides, the back, low back area, back of the hips. You'll see if you can find that connection to the low back here as well. As you're breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. As you inhale, you think, I am. Exhale, grateful. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grateful. Allowing any other thoughts of gratitude coming in as they wish. And taking one more breath on this side. Your next exhale, let the legs slide back so we're nice and straight onto the mat now. And we're going to support ourselves up into tabletop position again here. So you can bring the hands alongside the chest to help push yourself up on towards your knees and come into tabletop position. You do have your blocks nearby. Just grab onto your blocks so that way we have a little bit of support in the hands. And so low stools, textbooks, pillowcases, whatever that may be to give you a little bit of height here. You're going to inhale and step your right leg between the two blocks to start. I'm going to face the camera so you can see a little bit better. So we're going to come and face between the two blocks to start, and just walk your left hip back a little bit so you have a little bit of space in the hips there. We're going to inhale, bring the right arm inside as you kind of walk that right leg out a little bit. So we're creating a little bit of space. We're going to come into that right hip opening, let that right hip open out to the side. The right foot is going to angle to the side so that knee can just trace over the foot here. So we don't want any kind of knees falling in or falling out. Let that knee follow over the right hip. This is a hip opener here, and so again, you're coming at your own depth here. The higher support you have, the more support you'll feel around the hips, a little less stretching. The deeper that you go, so the more you kind of support over top of the hips and really hinge at the hips. The low back is staying straight, so spine staying straight here. We're just moving, kind of hinging from the hip creases there. So you can always come as low as you want. So in this position from the side, that left leg can always creep back a little bit more if you do want to open the left hip at the same time. You'll feel a stretch from the left hip flexor and a bit in the right inner thigh. You can always move as low as your body wants. My hips are a bit stiff today, so I'm not going to go any lower. But you can always work your way down to forearms towards the floor, but still maintaining integrity of the spine. So not trying to round too much of the spine to get in the position the body doesn't want you to move into. So make sure you find some support here. Again, coming back into the breath awareness once you find your version of this little hip opener here. Wherever you are, again, bring that intention towards the hands, especially if we're using the props. It's really easy to kind of sink into the wrist creases. So what can you do to find some lightness? Maybe alter the pressure so the pressure is a bit more towards the thumb or the index finger versus resting back into the whole wrist crease. What's happening at the elbows? Are they kind of locked out and holding too much? Can we soften a little bit? Let the shoulders relax slightly so we're not bringing too much tension to the upper body as we're trying to stretch out. Right side, potentially the left side, depending what position you chose. So always trying to find that nice balance between the effort and the ease of these poses. Let that breath help you find the ease. So let that breath kind of help guide where you feel like you're holding on to too much tension. You need to soften a little bit. And just taking your time here, filling it out on this right and left side. And taking a few more breaths here, so taking our time. We'll take one more breath cycle in and out. If you brought your left leg back to go into more of a left hip flexor stretch, just kind of walk that knee in a bit to give yourself some space. So we can start to walk the right foot kind of heel toe inwards, bring the block or the hand alongside the leg again. So you can slide the leg back into tabletop position. Moving to the other side, any kind of wiggles that you need to, we're gonna inhale, we'll bring that left leg through the two blocks. They can all face the camera so you can see. Maybe that right leg lifts back, the left leg comes forward a bit to find your perfect hip depth here. Start to walk the left leg open, left toes, left knees facing towards that left side. So both hands are inside the legs. Again, taking the time on this side here. So find the height that you want, the support of the wrists, support of the shoulders, where you let yourself soften a bit to find a bit more of a stretch into the hips. You feel like going a bit lower, which I'm not going to do, or a little bit higher for some more support. So again, just find that support that your body works with. Everyone's different, so everyone finds your way to move. And just come back into that intention once we find that nice balance of our effort and our ease, once we scan the body. So give yourself a little bit of a mindful body scan here. How do your shoulders here feel? How do the wrists feel? How does that left foot, the left inner thigh, right hip flexors, right thigh, right foot? Do you need any adjustments, or do you feel pretty good there? As we come into that stillness, taking those nice long breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. Just taking a few more breaths on this left side. Taking your time here. As you exhale, if you brought that right leg back, if you need to shimmy it forward a little bit to give yourself some space, you can walk the left foot in, bring the hands alongside the front leg, so you can slide the left leg back into tabletop. Move our props to the side. We're going to come into a lying down. This is kind of coming into some restorative poses for the last portion of class. So we're going to come into a supine, so a lying on the back, bound angle pose with the legs. So if you do have a bolster or rolled up blanket or pillows that you want to use to support your back, now is the time to arrange it. So it looks like this, where we have our support kind of face the sacrum. We can lie back over our props. The feet are going to come in together and knees fall out towards the side. This might be a lot on the hips. They might feel okay because we just did a little bit of opening, but you can always use pillows or blocks to support underneath the thighs or the knees, so it's a little bit more lifted, a little bit more at ease. If that feels too intensely, you don't love it, you can always have the feet bent, or the feet on the floor, knees bent, or legs straight as well. If you don't have a prop to support the back, don't worry about it. You can always use a pillow or a blanket to support the head. You can still come into that nice position without any props, using the extra pillows or any support you need for the thighs instead. Always options to move and find support where you need them. I'm going to bring the hands towards the belly as we're lying here. So elbows bent, doing any shimmies that you need so you can feel the contact, the back of the head, feel the length behind the neck, so perform a slight chin tuck. Supporting both of the shoulder blades onto the floor. If your shoulders are kind of reached up, can you just relax them backwards? You'll feel the connection of that sacrum, potentially the spine along your support. A little opening across the front of the thighs. Support as the feet are touching either each other or the ground. And use the hands on the belly for your feedback of where that breath is going. So inhale nice and big, let that belly expand against the hands. Exhale, let that hand feel the air soften. Inhale and exhale. So taking your time in this position, be here for a few more moments. If your mind starts to wander, it's very natural as you're getting used to finding your relaxation or your meditative state. It's often easier if you find your affirmation, your repetition. You can always come back to thinking, I am, exhale, grateful. Using that mindfulness to become aware of the sensations in the body and in the mind. I'll just share a quote with you from Lord Buddha as we're breathing here. The thoughts manifest as the word. The words manifest as the deed. The deeds develop into habits, and habits harden the character. And so trying to find that breath connection to find our nice positive thoughts tonight. Thoughts of gratitude. My thoughts of positive intention. And finding some good in every day. And take a few more moments in this position. And just inhaling and exhaling. As we begin to transition out of this pose, we'll take one more breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Your legs are out to the side. You can support with your hands, bringing the knees back in towards center. Your prop is supporting the spine. Just roll off of your bolster, your blanket, your pillows. Just move them to the side. You're going to come into your supported final Shavasana. So any props that you need, please find them. My favorite for Shavasana is putting some pillows or putting a bolster underneath the thighs for a bit of lift in the thighs. And using a blanket over the body if you'd like some extra heat. You can always use a pillow for the head, towel for the eyes. So take your time to kind of wiggle out anything else that you need to before you can rest into your final stillness here. The arms take up as much space as they can, legs take up as much space as they can. So just really find your comfort on the ground again. And feeling that connection into the mat. So as we inhale in and exhale out. letting yourself find that really grounded sensation. So letting yourself kind of sink further into the mat, sink further into the ground. And taking a long inhale, a long exhale. And one last quote for you here tonight. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. So finding that stillness lets you find that awareness, lets you find the time to appreciate more of the everyday simplicities that we often overlook. And taking a few more breaths here in our final Shavasana. I will leave you here tonight, and I will say Namaste from this position. Please stay here as long as you like and enjoy